Hey world. So my name is Gabrielle. Oh, excuse me. Oh goodness. Okay. So, excuse me. Itches, right? So anyway, I'm just going to be direct and straight to the point from my own personal life experiences. And I know this will help you all that are willing to receive what God has taught me, because I asked God. God is a root God, not dealing with like witchcraft stuff. Root meaning he doesn't deal with the surface of the manifestations of your life naturally. He exposes to us and reveals to us the root spiritually beyond the natural surface of the manifestation of the fruit. Okay, so one thing I'll share with you is if you want to know the truth about why your life is like it is, you're going to have to choose to ask God to show you what your kinfolks, your ancestors, forefathers, what your family members did, even though some of them are gone and dead to the grave, but spiritually, the spirits and things they did sacrifices with, generations in the bloodline that they dedicated on them altars, is still crying out against your life. It's still demonically tormenting, harassing, killing, destroying, and stealing your identity, your children. Is still highly effective, and your lifestyle is showing the manifestations of it loud and clear. Even your seed. What am I saying to you? If you're someone that struggles, if you struggle with masturbation, if you struggle with pornography, any sexual perversions, you need to be asking God, where did that come from? Because molestation may run strong in your bloodline. Meaning, somebody somewhere in your bloodline opened up a door to the spirit of perversion, and here comes the strongholds of molestation, incest, rape. Okay? One thing leads to another. Then here come abortion. Here come molest. Demons come in groups. They like gang members. They don't come by one. That's why God said in the Bible, you bind the strong man, meaning who is the head demon. Just like in a gang or when you work on a job, there is a CEO. In a gang, there is a leader that the other ones follow. That's how demons are. So when you're dealing with a strong man, like for example, anytime you struggle with keeping your legs closed or staying from between legs, and you full of lust, you watch pornography, you masturbate a lot, you finger yourself a lot, whatever you do, more than likely, the strong man to that is perversion, meaning your sexuality more than likely was perverted, contaminated, and distorted when you was a little girl or little boy, whether it was by your own parents, your step parents, your grandparents, your babysitter, you're supposed to be homeboy or best friend, whoever did it, whether it was of the same sex, opposite sex, that strong man is perversion. It came to sexually pervert you. Perversion doesn't only mean sexually. Perversion can be distorting your thoughts, your pure thoughts, your innocence concerning how you view the world, how you view people, how you view possessions. Perversion is not only sexually. You can be perverted in your gifts. Meaning, you could be someone that's anointed, that God has given you the gift of dance, but if your parents don't raise you up the correct way biblically according to what God says, more than likely you'll end up being perverted into a stripper, an escort, a prostitute. See how that goes? So God, what comes from God is pure and good, but most adults, because they don't choose to obey God concerning their children, they actually come into agreement with Satan and bloodline demons with distortion, contamination, perversion of the seed in the next generations, all because with their will, they did not choose to receive God's will for your life, which is why you'll see crime rates get higher, perversions of identity and sexuality grow stronger, people become more addicted to new type of drugs and drug demons, and so on and so on. Okay? So I'm here to tell you one thing that I've learned in life, and I don't have children yet, nothing like that. I haven't been married before, nothing like that. I won't settle in compromise. I just won't. Because one thing, I'll give you an example. Like in my bloodline, you'll see like a lot of failed marriages. I don't see in my bloodline on my mom's side or my dad's side anyone who actually did marriage the godly way. Like you don't see that. That's a problem. That's demonic actually. So I encourage you to look in your family bloodlines. You need to really sit down and let God help you, if you will. If you want your life to stop being a demonic reflection, a demonic mirror of like what your mom life was, your stepmom, whoever raised you, if you notice that the same issues they have that's gotten worse is much more worse in your life, that actually is demonic. It's satanic. If you notice that you can't keep a man or you can't keep a woman, you're always in child custody battles, you're fighting to gain even some type of custody of your child, you can't stop having sex with people, it's so hard for you to be faithful and loyal in one relationship, or you get so far with somebody every time they propose to you and then it turns straight opposite, or you're always attracting narcissistic people in relationships. That's not good. That's demonic. That is a sign spiritually. The spiritual realm is telling you, if you don't go to God and let him help you with what you see naturally manifesting in your life, that also is in your mom life, your grandma, your great grandma, your ancestors, your dad life, you're going to turn out worse than them. If you know in your bloodline you have people who are pedophiles, molesters, incestors, if you don't go to God and find out if those spirits are in your life, those spirits will come after your children. And God forbid, you're going to hear news where later on down the road, or somebody going to try to molest your child, or some family member who did not let God deliver them from that and heal them with that, going to try to molest and tamper with your child and continue on in demonic influence of perversions sexually. Because remember, perversion is not just only sexually. You can be perverting your gifts. Meaning you could be someone that could be a writer, anointed to write. You're gifted with writing, like, man. But if you don't get healed from childhood bad parenting foundations, you'll be writing lustful stuff that arouses people's flesh, or stuff that might drive people to commit murder. It's any kind of way the enemy can distort you and pervert you, he will, until we as adults in our adulthood go to God and say, what's wrong for me? What did I inherit spiritually that is demonic, is satanic, is evil and wicked, is just not good? All of us, the majority of adults within themselves, you can feel when something is not right with you, with your identity. If you're someone, let's be raw and real and unfiltered. If you are someone, when you look at teenagers or the youth, you see them as sex toys, sex objects, and you're having sexual fantasies about the youth, talking about children, you are under the influence of demons. You need to face that in private with God and face, where did this start with you? Because I guarantee you, more than likely, that spirit of perversion sexually concerning your sexuality came in through you either being molested, somebody introduced you into some sexual perversion, you may have didn't even know no better as a kid. You started watching pornography, or you started getting curious, touching on stuff. Somebody might have did oral sex on you, or they made you do oral sex on them. You need to face where this spirit came in at, because there's no way a baby gonna come out and say, oh, I want to rape a child, or I want to molest a baby. That's not how we're created. God, that's not in God. We come from God. So when you're dysfunctional in your identity with how you see the youth, and you see them in sexuality perversions, and you're having sexual fantasies about the youth, meaning children, and you see them as sex objects, and you have this demonic enticement where you want to have sex with them and use sex toys on them and all this kind of stuff, and they're kids, you need healing from what you have been, your sexuality has been distorted in, your sexual body parts and your sexual organs have been tampered with, and you need to choose to be willing to face it, because you're also going to need deliverance. Them demons need to be cast out of your body. They need to be cast out of your life, out of your private parts, because these kind of demons, They have sexual relations with you still. They follow you. They be in your dreams doing stuff to you. The world calls it wet dreams. It's not wet dreams. It's demons getting your seed. They make men ejaculate. They do it. They make women have orgasms. They do all kind of stuff to you. They'll even impregnate you in the realm of the spirit, even through your dreams. Demons and sex demons, incubus and succubus, even spirit spouses, spirit husband, spirit wife, spiritual wife, they're not nothing to play with. While the world talking about wet dreams, or if you have children, and if you have, especially if you have boys, and they're releasing or ejaculating in the middle of the night, that is a warning sign. Danger. Your seed is in trouble. That means sex demons, whatever kind of sexual perverted demons, they're already having sexual relations with your children. It's not a game. It's not a joke. You may be like, oh, they're just a kid. They don't know no better. They don't know no better. But as they parent, you better quickly ask God, what is that in the realm of the spirit that's sexually tampering with, sexually touching on your child? Because that actually is a spirit. It's more than likely a sex demon or a spirit spouse. But it is a very perverted spirit sexually. And the reason why it's messing with your seed is because it feels like it has a right to your seed, because you, the mom, the grandma, and whoever else is not going to God to face it and deal with it head on. Y'all overlooking the manifestation of the spirit, the demon, the sex demon, incubus, succubus, the spirit spouse. Y'all not facing it. You're overlooking it and just letting it have its way with your seed, letting it have its way with you. So, it feel like you got rights to the whole household until you go to God and ask God, what's going on? What is this? There's no such thing as wet dreams. It's not. That's a manifestation of sex demons having sexual relations with you or your seed. They don't care. Demons don't have restraints, in case you didn't know that. They don't care. They don't. If you allow them to continue to do what they demonically are assigned to do, they're going to do it. Anything you allow, it will be permitted, even demonically with demons, with wicked spirits, witches, warlocks, you name it. So I didn't want to be before you long. I just want to say, look, if you're tired of the stuff you're going through that's not normal, it's not human, it's not natural, and it's not right, why don't you just ask God what's going on with your life? Don't keep complaining about it and murmuring about it. Don't be super spiritual about it and be like, oh, well, God knows. And no, don't be all over social media about it. You didn't create yourself. We don't get to choose the bloodlines we come through. And guess what? Truth be told, 98% of our family members, ancestors, kinfolks, however you want to call them, they did a lot of secret stuff. They did witchcraft. Some of us got heavy warlocks in our bloodlines. We got some people into sorcery, psychic witchcraft, all types of witchcraft. Some of us got a lot of witches in our bloodlines, a lot of warlocks. You'd be surprised. That's why you need to ask God, what was your kinfolks, what was your family members into that they refused to tell you about? Because even though your family members are being a hush about it, and some of them died and went to the grave with it, spiritually, those things are not dead in your life. They're tormenting you. You're suffering demonically. You're suffering satanically. You're in bondage deeply. You can't stop masturbating. You can't stop molesting people's children. You keep having sex with multiple partners. Some of you have sex with any type of sex. You don't care. Some of you do bestiality. You have sex with animals. Some of you, that them demons got you such in a stronghold, you just having sex with whatever demonic enticement comes up on you. It's out of control. Some of you go to desperate measures just to be loved. So I want to encourage you. I think it's so important that you should immediately go to God. Regardless of how you may hate God or feel towards him, why not give it a shot and ask him? He said, ask and you will receive, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open. I think it's your right, especially if you have children. I think if you love yourself or you want to know what life is all about and how to experience life abundantly, why not go to the Creator, God, capital G-O-D, ask him, what's in me? What did I inherit? What did I pass to my children and their grandchildren? If you got grandchildren, what is demonically still tormenting me? Because how is it that you still going back and forth to the hospital with cancer? 6 times, 7 times, 12 times. One moment they say it's gone, next minute they said it came back more aggressive. That's not normal. That's not normal. Even as women, tumors, cysts, and fibroids, that's not even normal or human. That's demonic. And the doctors in them give a name for all this stuff. They call it a disorder. They can't even tell you where this stuff is coming from. A lot of this stuff just comes from demons, people releasing witchcraft on your life, stuff your family members, ancestors, your parents and them did when they made sacrifices and they did stuff in private in witchcraft. And they created altars and they dedicated the females and said, let them not have babies, let them have miscarriages, stuff like that, abortions, may they never experience love. You'd be surprised when you ask God, when he exposes to you what your parents or grandparents or whoever watched you released over you and spoke over your life. And some of you, whoever raised you, they took you to this secret place or a secret society or whatever they was into and had them do stuff and speak stuff over you. And you were just a child. You didn't even know. But that didn't stop the manifestation spiritually in your life. It didn't. When you came into adulthood, look at your life now. Your life is spiraling demonically out of control. You're beyond tormented. You're beyond frustrated. You're beyond, man, you've even thought about committing suicide. You love your kids, but you're like, man, I can't take no more. So all I'm suggesting to you in love and saying you need to stop what you're doing and think. Look at your life for real, for real. Like, go to God and say, hey, what is not normal about my life? Because you could tell, as adults, we feel it. Ask God to show you the root to the fruit of you being bound to masturbation or pedophilia, being bound to robbing from people or sleeping with people's husbands or their wives. Why are you so enticed to break up people's marriages? Why can't you keep a relationship? Or why, when you get so far in a relationship, they just drop you and reject you? Or why do you keep attracting the same toxic, unhealthy females, toxic, unhealthy males, toxic, unhealthy relationships? Let God take you down memory lane. What did you see with your parents growing up? Because your parents are one of the major roots to that fruit. Because they didn't go to God and deal with some stuff and break it before they had you. And even when they found out you were coming, they still didn't go to God and seek him and turn from their wicked ways and humble themselves. They still didn't go to God and acknowledge him so he could direct their paths concerning you, so you won't have to suffer with their demons that was assigned to them. So you suffering for stuff that you ain't even had nothing to do with naturally. But because they didn't deal with it, it flowed down to you. And now look at your life. It looked like it's trying to be worse than theirs, or it already is worse than theirs. So all I'm suggesting to you, and I'm saying to you because I've done it, I'll give you an example of my life because I don't mind being raw and naked with you. One thing I had to learn, I chose to do in private with God, I said, why do I keep attracting toxic, unhealthy, narcissistic males? Like, what is up with that, God? Because I know I'm in position and anointed for marriage. I even have a marriage ministry. So what is that? So the Lord took me back down memory lane. God said, your mom is a narc. She's very narcissistic. And she forced you into idolatry with her. She made you bow down, quote unquote, to her ways in her house because you were just a little girl. What could you do with her? She's way bigger than you physically. You can't run away, and she was the only one in your life. You're the oldest girl. She put all of most of her responsibility on you. She forced it on you. She took your check when you got paid and worked a job because she knew that you actually loved her and you just wanted her to love you like a mother and a daughter the way God created and intended. I did. Back then, I did. So God had to take me back down to the root. He said, your mother, your mom, because she wasn't a mother to me, not a godly mother, no way, never was. And I love her to life. I forgive my mom. I can see her today, love you. But that's it. God hasn't let her go past that. But he had to show me that. He said the root is your mom never faced what she went through with your grandma. So she was a worse parent to you. So see, I suffered more heavier abuse because she didn't face and let God heal her from the demonic abuse, demonic torment and harassment she went through with her parent. So when I came, and then because of the drama that was going on with her and my dad and his side of the family, I was made to pay and suffer. I was abused demonically, daily, throughout the day, and innocent in the whole matter. Didn't have nothing to do with who she had sex with, if she wasn't ready for me to come, that I was a girl. God chose me to be a girl. Because some parents be wishing for a boy. See, so God revealed a lot of things to me, because come to find out, I actually wasn't accepted or expected to come when I did. So see, there goes the spirit of rejection. And that's why, too, the Lord showed me, he said, that's why you attracted unhealthy, toxic males also, was because your dad didn't do his part. He said you didn't have even growing up, Gabrielle, the men that your mama would deal with in her household was unhealthy and toxic. So your whole environment, you became conditioned to that, and things spiritually transferred in your life, where you begin to attract the same type of males your mom did. And then your dad didn't make it no better, because he never chose to be in your life, and he's still alive. My dad never was in my life. Only men that was in my life that played a part in my life was the ones my mom dealt with, and some of them messed with me sexually. Some of them all of them mishandled me. They did, And so I'm like, wow, I didn't stand a chance, So when I got into adulthood, in my early 30s, late 20s, 27, 28, I start to face stuff and have questions like, why? Why does this happen in my life with men, with males? And God said that the demonic umbilical cord needs to be cut from my mom. Some of you, not being funny, whether you're male or female, in the realm of the spirit, there's still a demonic umbilical cord connected to your mom. And if your mom is demonic, satanic, religious, still toxic in her ways, you're still getting the effects of that. Ask God to show you. Is there a spiritual demonic umbilical cord still attached to your mom or whoever raised you? Because when you know how umbilical cords function, whatever they're getting fed and doing, guess what? It goes to that child. Even in your adulthood life, it's still affecting you. So I was like, wow, that's so crazy. That's so deeply rooted that you don't get to control who you come through, because whatever's in your mom, whatever's in your dad, whether it's good, bad, evil, wicked, satanic, perverted, righteous, holy, pure, positive, pessimistic, negative, it's guaranteed you're going to get it. Whether it's bits and pieces or heavier with the mom than the dad, you're going to get it. There's no way around it. The only thing you can do, I suggest to you, even if you're a teenager watching this, ask God to show you everything that you spiritually, emotionally, and mentally have inherited from your bloodline, mom and dad, both sides. Ask him to show you. Get ready. He gonna show you, because he's been showing me for years. And I'm not shocked at it, because I'm like, because I grew up with my mom, I'm like, yeah, I did get that from her. You have to be willing to get raw and naked with God in private, because I get it. A lot of you as adults be wondering, why is my life like this? Even as teenagers. I met a lot of teenagers be wondering why they going through all this in their life. It's because your parents still refuse to choose to go to God and let him heal and deliver them. Because if your parents, if they still living, will go to God and let him work on them, it'll break automatically in you and your seed too, because of the connection. See how that goes? The connection. Because you came through them, not to them. So when you're coming through something, you're guaranteed to pick up parts of them, or whatever's on them is going to transfer to you. Good, bad, perverted, godly, righteous, holy, religious, whatever it is. And it's on us as adults to go to God and say, hey, something's not right with me. I'm malfunctioning in my identity. I'm desperate for love. I'm not learning my lesson from being in domestic violence relationships. I find myself breaking up marriages. I'm a prostitute. I'm transgender. I'm a lesbian. And this is not even what I wanted to do. How did I get here? I'm a pedophile, or I murder people. I set up innocent people to get killed. I lie on people. I cause discord. I spy on people. I instigate. I gossip. You need to just call it out for what you notice about yourself and ask God, where does this stuff come from? Who did I inherit this from? Because this is not my identity. So who is this that's in me? Who ways? Who personality? Where is this stuff coming from? How do I get to the root of this, God? And God's going to give, I guarantee you, God's going to give you instructions. He's going to give you answers, because he wants you free. He wants you free. Yes, we get it. What Jesus did on the cross. Yes, to set us free and things like that. But also, don't forget, now that you're down here in this world, and because of the bloodlines God sent you through, there were things that were automatically inherited because of what your kinfolks, ancestors, forefathers, great-grand, all and what they did, even your parents, the demonic stuff they did, that stuff passed down to you because nobody, or the majority of them, still refuse to go to God, reveal the truth, and get healed and delivered and face them things head on. And who's suffering now? The next generation to come in the bloodline. You, me. No matter how many years you've been in church, still dealing with these bloodline demons. Another thing I'll share with you to encourage you, it's going to be a lifetime process. Oh yes, it is. I can tell you that now. You getting healed and delivered from ancient demons, bloodline curses, demonic covenants, demonic contracts, demonic strongmen and their strongholds, that's not going to be no 1 week, overnight, 6 months to a year process. That's just not possible, because we're talking about different rankings of demons with demonic assignments, evil spirits, witches, warlocks who feel like they have a right to your life, to your seed, because of what your ancestors in them did, what your parents rebelled against God with. This is going to be a lifetime journey. I'm going to be honest with you. Be patient with God. You're going to have to. This requires your patience. It requires your obedience on your level. God is not strict or harsh. He's not wanting you to get it overnight. He already knows, it's not going to be an overnight thing. He just wants you to know he will baby step you on your level. He's not expecting you to get your whole healing and deliverance in 1 day, 1 year, 6 years. No. Some of us, because we have heavier gifts, heavier, stronger, more powerful anointings and callings on our life, this going to be a journey, and it's not going to be easy. I can tell you that now. It's not going to be easy. Why? Because when you're dealing with Satan's kingdom and you choose to go to God and say, expose and reveal to me, where's all this stuff coming from in my life? Why do I function dysfunctionally? These demons, because they're very structured and strategic, and their rankings, they have rankings, they're not just going to let you loose like that. You're going to have to wrestle. Because God said we don't wrestle with flesh and blood. You're going to have to wrestle with principalities, rulers of darkness, powers, and spiritual hosts of wickedness in high places. That means these are heavy, the heaviest kind, because your kinfolks in them didn't just keep it simple, KISS, you know that saying, keep it simple, stupid? They didn't keep it simple. So now when people don't just let God help us, it makes it worse for the next generation. I tell adults all the time, the youth is not the problem. They suffering for their father's sin down to the 3rd and 4th generation. It's us adults that's the problem. We make things worse for the youth. They didn't ask to come into all of this with us, with our sinful selves. We didn't learn nothing from Adam and Eve. Like, come on, people. Did y'all see what happened when they did that? All of us suffered. We all fell short of the glory of God. So it's so important. If you're an adult and you just tired of all this demonic attacks, and good God, this stuff you keep doing, and you keep going in these demonic cycles and repeated stuff, and it's you. You done became your own enemy because you just won't go to God and say, hey, what's wrong with me? Where did I get this from? Where did I get this filthy language, cussing and speaking curses on people? And why am I in witchcraft? Why am I a witch? Why am I enticed to be a witch? Why do I love doing witchcraft on people? You have to face what's hurting you. Where did you get hurt at? Because see, that's the main thing too. You're not yourself when you're hurting. You have to go to God and say, let's go to them areas where I first got hurt. Because see, if you have an issue of blood, meaning you have a bleeding heart, all them demons going to tear you up and eat you alive. Like the Snickers commercial says, you're not yourself when you're hungry. Well, guess what? The revelation God gave me, when you have a bleeding heart, you're not yourself when you're hurting. They smell you like a shark to blood. They're going to come for you. They're going to come for you. You're an easy target when you have a bleeding heart. That's why it's important, adults, that you go to God and say, hey, this hurt. You have to be honest about what hurt you in life, starting with your childhood. And a lot of adults have not faced that. You have yet to face that. And if you're hurting and you don't get your healing, and then you don't get delivered from the torments of it, you're going to take it out on your children and make them worse and cause them to suffer unnecessarily. So, if you have questions for me, feel free to. My name is Gabrielle. I just wanted to come and tell you that I think, well, I know it's your God-given right. Find out why is your life like it is, because I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, most of this stuff that's demonically manifesting in your life, tormenting you, seducing you, demonically persuading you in the flesh, enticing you. Okay? It's enticing you. Speaking to your thoughts, messing with you in the midnight hours in your dreams, doing stuff to your body while you laying down, napping, or even resting at night in the midnight hours, is coming from what's in your bloodline that your ancestors, forefathers, your grandparents, all of them, your mom, your dad, whoever's still living, they still have yet to go repent and face the stuff they did in private. They still have yet to face these demons who they entertained or they allowed to have their way and entice them to. They still have yet to let God heal and deliver them, work on them, rod and staff, chastise and rebuke them for what they agreed to. They still have yet to get deliverance and heal from being witches, warlocks, psychics, tarot card readers, you name it. Okay? So, if you want to get to the roots, thank you, God, the roots of the demonic fruit in your life, from pedophilia, incest, abortions, miscarriages, failed relationships, breaking up happy homes, sleeping with people's spouses, fiancés, lesbianism, homosexuality, transgender, whatever it is, whatever perversions, abomination, whatever it is that God says is a sin that he hates, whatever it is that's dysfunctional against your pure identity, against the purity of your identity, your self-esteem, your confidence, even your sexuality. If you want to be free from always masturbating, watching pornography, always having sexual fantasies of everybody regardless of their gender or their age, I suggest, need to immediately ask God, what's going on with me? Where did this stuff come from? Who did it come from? Why is it in my life? Distorting, contaminating, perverting me. Where am I at fault at? Because some of us, you have to be honest, some of you love it. Some of you done made an agreement with demons. All we can do is pray for you. Because you cannot, if you're going to choose to be in agreement with masturbation, pedophilia, all this, anything, murdering people, robbing from people, we have to just pray for you. Because you're going to have to learn your lesson. And sometimes that means death, a satanic death. You don't want that, I guarantee. Especially if you got children. You don't want that. Because you may not know how demons going to kill you. You don't want that. So if you have questions for me, my name is Gabrielle. I didn't come to condemn. Well, I condemn sin. I didn't come to condemn the soul, but I came to say, look, open your eyes and get woke. Because too many of your kinfolks been asleep on these demons, on these evil spirits, on these altars. So many of us have bloodline altars crying out still against us because what our family members put on those altars. Anytime you do altars with spirits, you got to give up something in the bloodline. You got to give up someone, some generation, and say something on them. Like, for example, don't let the girls have children, or don't let them experience love in a marriage. Don't let them get married. You know, may the boys always end up, may they never see their seed. They say there's so much evil stuff that be released on altars by your family members, your ancestors, whoever, you know. And that's not good. That's not God. That's not love. But I'm here to tell you, God wants you to know, what did you inherit demonically, spiritually, in your bloodline from your kinfolks, your family members, ancestors, your parents, whether alive or not, who still ain't repentant and let God help them? What did you inherit that's still demonically strong in your life, that you can't even be who God created you to be? You can't even be a godly mother or a godly father to your seed or your great-grandchildren or your grandchildren. That's a problem. So instead of looking to the doctors to fix it, or to your therapist or psychiatrist or Ayala or whoever to fix it, they can't fix what you inherited through the bloodline. That's the spiritual realm. You're going to have to choose to go to God, the spiritual being, and let him expose the roots to this demonic fruit, not only in your life, but in your spouse's life, in your children's life, in your household, that's upon your possessions, because it just don't make no sense. You don't deserve to go through this, but if you don't choose as an adult or a teenager to go to God and begin digging and say, hey, and investigating, why is my life like this? Why can't I keep $1 no matter how much I work? Why do I keep staying poor, broke, busted, and disgusted? Why? Why am I watching other people get what I desire and need? That's demonic. Something is going on demonically. There's some type of spirit that feels like it has a right to block you from these things because your ignorance, or you're being naive or super spiritual about it. Ask God to show you. Just ask God to show you. He said we perish for lack of knowledge. God keeps things simple. Ask God to expose how was these spirits and these things able to enter into your life, and then be willing to choose to apply whatever instructions God is going to tell you it takes to get them up out of your life, because it's going to be a lifetime process. These demons, because of their history and their territorial, they're not just going to say to you, oh, we're going to be nice because you went to God and he's all powerful, we can't do nothing with him. They're not going to do that. They're going to put up a fight. They're very stubborn. Very stubborn, because they feel like they have a right. They feel like because of what your ancestors did, your mom and dad didn't do, we have a right to you and your seed too. The devil is a liar. So get ready to put up a fight and some wrestling, because demons and wicked spirits are very stubborn, and they're going to wrestle, okay? Because their thing is they've been in your bloodline for decades. What makes you think they're going to just release you like that? But whom the Son sets free is free indeed. I just want to share that with you. Whatever you do, if you really want your life to be right and in alignment with God's will, you're going to have to come out of your will and go to him. Go back to your creator, capital G-O-D. Find out, what's going on with me? I want to be free. What's going on with me? Capital G-O-D. Help me to see into me. And make up your mind before you go to God. Do what he says do. It's not going to feel good. And for some of us, most of the time, it's not. Because we're so used and conditioned to it since childhood to do good when we've been doing evil so much of our lives. That's not going to feel good, especially to your flesh. But God knows what's best. And if you got children, you got to make up your mind. You either let these bloodline demons and covenants and contracts take out your seed and you too, or you're going to get like Nike and do what you need to do biblically and listen to what God is saying too. There is no way around it. It don't matter how much rehab you go to, how many psychics or psychiatrists you go to or therapists you go to. If they're not anointed and anchored in God, they're going to make things and cause things spiritually to be worse for you. You're going to grow worse instead of becoming better. Okay, so with that being said, I'm Gabrielle. If you have any questions, comments, feel free. Nothing but love here, but I was just led to share that with you all because with the times we're in, if you don't know what's going on spiritually in your life, it's not going to go good for you. It's not, or your seed. If you don't go to God and find out what's wrong with your life, what's wrong with you, why are you like you are, you're going to end up the enemy is going to end up getting what he wants out of you. Seriously, it's really serious. The spiritual realm is where everything comes from. The natural realm is just communicating, saying, hey, you got a situation in the realm of the spirit. You need to face it. So I love you all. I thank God for you all. Should you have questions for me, I welcome it joyfully. I welcome you to reach out to me anytime you want to. I don't have a problem with it. No offense here. It's all love, because love conquers all. Love just is. I don't expect anything from you all, but I just come to anticipate my love on you all, because even with my own life, the journey I've been having, since I chose to let God show me about my bloodlines on both sides, it's been a fight. It really has. And when I say a fight, meaning these demons gonna wrestle, because if you have much on you, much is required. So if you're a person that carries heavy offices, heavy gifts and anointings, you're going to have to put up much more of a fight. You're going to feel like it's a matter of life and death, and it is. You really going to have to fight. Because to them demons, They want you dead or alive. They want you, especially if you have more heavy anointed gifts on you and stuff. They look at that like, yes, we would love to have them. We would love to have them. So if you carry much more heavier stuff on you, you're going to have to fight much more. Oh, God. And I'm telling you this because I'm a witness to it. I'm telling you this because I'm a living witness. And the fight is a lifetime process. And God will divinely connect you with people who are anointed for you, whether it be one person or a group. Just trust God. Sometimes He's going to isolate you because it's required. It's required. Okay? Like I said, it's not easy. It's not no overnight thing. It's a lifetime process. But with God, all things are possible. Not with your psychiatrist, not with your therapist, not with Ayanla, not with a motivational speaker. With God. All these bloodline demons that's been tormenting you and stuff, it's possible to get free from them. But God needs your patience with Him and with you, because what you inherited from your bloodlines, it ain't no joke. And it's going to require your patience. And because you did things out of ignorance and sin, it made the demonic bondage stronger. It made the demons more stronger. They fed off of that. Demons and wicked spirits, they love your ignorance. They love when you don't know. Because see, they know. But they love when we don't know. Oh my goodness. So look, we wasn't created to know everything. Look at that. No condemnation. We wasn't. But if you want to know some things, you want to become knowledgeable, go to God and say, hey, you sent me through this bloodline. Okay? Can you tell me what all I inherited from my bloodlines? That's everything. Good, bad, ugly, wicked, perverted, demonic, satanic, religious. Can you help me see into me? My God. I want to be free. I'm tired of masturbating. I'm tired of molesting people's children. I'm tired of sleeping with my cousins and them doing incest. I'm tired of having abortions. I'm tired of experiencing failed relationships. I'm tired of taking out stuff on my kids all because they look like their dad or they function like their mom. I'm tired of being in the court system for child custody battles. I'm tired of marrying the wrong person. I'm tired of being in toxic, unhealthy, ungodly relationships, even with people in ministry. I'm tired of being prostituted by spiritual leadership. I'm tired of doing drugs. I'm tired of being a prostitute. I'm tired of being into lesbianism. Whatever it is, transgender, I'm tired, Lord. I'm tired of getting all this work done on my body. I don't even look like who you created me to be. How do I get back to looking like who you created me to be? I'm tired of being on drugs. I'm tired. I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of trying to commit suicide. What is this stuff coming from? I'm tired of gossiping about folks. I'm tired of sleeping with people's spouses. Why do I keep breaking up people's homes, guys? What is this coming from? Why do I keep being desperate for toxic, narcissistic males, narcissistic females, but mostly males, because that's a stronger spirit in males because of pride and lust. Why? So see, God will begin to take you back down memory lane what that came from, if you're willing to go there. God know how to get raw and naked and unfiltered with you in private, so you don't feel shame, guilt, or embarrassment, or condemn. God didn't come to condemn you. He came to help you and set you free, and free indeed, because He get it. You don't get to choose the bloodline. You don't. We don't get to choose the bloodlines we're going to come through. We don't get to choose, what we want to pick from them. It's just automatically spiritually inherited. It's transferred to us. That's the love-hate part about it, So I love you all. Woo, it's a journey. I'm going to tell you, it's a journey. But I'm also a living witness that God will send you vessels to be water in your healing and deliverance process. Like how they give you water in a marathon, in a race. He'll send you people. Oh my God, He will. I'm experiencing that even right now. God will send you people to be water to you while you're going through your healing and deliverance, that'll say, it's okay. I get it. Keep going. And it helps you to endure your healing and deliverance process, because it's not going to feel good sometimes, and for some of us most of the time, because of what we've inherited. And because we kept on into that sin ignorantly or naively, we made it more stronger demonically against us and our seed. But with God, all things are possible. The longer you take, I'm going to share this with you, the longer you take to go to God and let Him help you with that, the deeper and more stronger that demonic strong man gets. and the strongholds that's connected to the strong man. So the more you keep on living that kind of lifestyle you're living, going according to your feelings and yada, 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 it ain't doing nothing but making things worse for you and your household too. You're not going to win like that. Your seed going to suffer. And God is going to hold you accountable. Because God says to do good, to do wrong when you know good, it will be counted as sin and held as sin against you. So if you know what you're doing is wrong, but you keep doing it, and you won't say, God, hey, this is a strong man. Hey, how do I break this? Or you won't even go to God and get help for the sake of your seed. That's held as sin against you. That's held as sin against you. You done made matters worse, you know. Hold on one second, okay? I got to connect my laptop here. Okay. Low battery. Hold on one second. So, yeah. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to question me about, feel free. No shame here and nothing to hide here. Feel free to. I welcome it. I love when people question me. I do. So love just is. That's all I really want to share with you guys who are watching and listening. It's only your fault as an adult, especially when you got children or you married. Man, it's your fault if you don't go to God and say, hey, what did I inherit from my bloodlines that my parents didn't deal with, my ancestors, that is tearing me up? I make one step forward, I get knocked 20 back. What is going on? How is this still happening to me? Like, I'm not selling drugs. Okay, I do masturbate. You know, you got to be honest with God. Okay, I do masturbate and watch porn. But I don't sell drugs, though. But it don't matter. It's still, they all sin. It's all bad, okay? You can't justify. You could try, but it ain't going to work with God or demons. Whatever you're doing that's a sin, even Satan knows what's a sin or not, you still got the portals open to these demons. Because remember, they don't travel in ones. They travel in groups. And there's a strong man to each group of demons. They like that. They very structured. They're very strategic. They're not playing with you. They're not playing with me. So you got to make up your mind what you're going to do. Okay? You can't fool God. You only fool yourself. And the worst thing to happen is if you're a parent, you keep on playing with yourself and God going to be like, that's okay. I'll just use your seed. Whoever else is willing next. And you're going to be feeling embarrassed when you see my glory in their life. When you see them getting healed from what you didn't want to face. And get worked on about. So, I'm Gabrielle. Thank you for your time. If God led you here, I thank God for your life. I thank God for you. I send you nothing but love. You all are in my prayers strategically. And this is what God had just wanted me to share with y'all. In these times, it's so important that you see what did you spiritually, satanically, religiously, and demonically and inwardly inherit from your bloodlines that is not from God. So many people died satanically and prematurely, went to the grave, but what was on their life still is tormenting their seed. It's still crying out and destroying their seed. Don't be another one. That's all I can say to you. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. Your healing, your deliverance is worth having. Why are you not fighting for it? The violent take it by force. If demons can take stuff from you, why won't you take your stuff back? You take it. You don't ask for nothing from demons. Go through God and find out how to take it back. They didn't ask you. They never gonna ask you. So I love you all. I thank God for those of you that He led here. Again, if I were you, I'm still going through the journey. It's some stuff, man, that my mom and dad did. I'm still fighting against it. It's a process. I'm telling you, it's not no overnight thing, you know, from bad dieting to them not doing their part biblically in my life. See what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that our parents do, our ancestors do. It affects our life whether we want it to or not. That's where you have to choose to go to God and say, hey, you didn't give me that right to choose my bloodline. Can you show me? How do I break these curses? How do I deal with this stuff and face it and overcome it in and through you and your word? And God is going to speak back to you because He wants you free. It grieves His heart. He don't like to see you going through that, but He can't go against will. You have to choose. You have to choose to catch what's going on in your life, these demonic cycles. these demonic delays and all this other stuff that's not of God or in his will for you, and face it and say, okay, what is this? Where does this come from? Why is it in my life? How do I overcome it? How do I defeat it? Give me your strength to go through this process for the rest of my life. Because it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not going to be 6 months to a year. That's not how wrestling with principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual hosts of wickedness in high places goes. You finna be putting up a fight for your life and your seed too. So, believe me, I'm a living witness. And I'm not even married yet or with kids. Woo-hoo. God done had to isolate me a few times. And it's only because of what he put on my life. It's not because I chose to create my life like this. But man, most folks who would be in my shoes would be done throw my shoes back at me, hit me in the head with my shoes on the first day. Like, no ma'am, that's yours. You can have that. You can take that cup. That's all right. But to much given, much is required. I love you all. I won't hold you long. Feel free if you have any questions or comments. Nothing but love here. Nothing but love. I thank God for you. I'm going to choose to have faith in you, that you will go to God too. You have to go to the one who created you. He knows the roots. He does. And he'll send people or show you signs to confirm it that that's him talking to you. So I love you. I appreciate and I'm humbled and grateful and joyful and thankful to God for you and leading you here, creating you. We need you. You matter. But we don't. Look, we need you to go to God so we can enjoy the healed, delivered, set free parts of you. Not the perverted, contaminated, distorted parts of you, because that's going to cause more of a problem in the world, in your household, and in others' lives. So whatever you do, go to God. Let him help you. That's the only way out, and that's the only way into your healing. That's the only way out of bondage, and that's the only way into your healing and deliverance. I love you. I thank God for you. I appreciate you. And until God leads me the next time, it is what it is. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Thank you for listening. Okay, how do you end this? I don't know. It's okay. Love you guys.